But first, if you or a loved one suffers from cognitive decline, memory loss, dementia, or even early stage Alzheimer's disease, then you do not want to miss what our first guest has to offer. Today, we have with us the Communications Director from the Integrated Health Center of the Rockies, Amanda Vargas. She is here to share the amazing progress that has been achieved in the field of cognitive decline and Alzheimer's care. I'm so glad you're here. This is such an important topic. We've talked about this before, but I think we can't reinforce enough the fact that according to doctors, of all the chronic illnesses that many people get, or we may get, we fear no other disease like dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Why is that?
There's a couple of reasons for that, Gina. The first one being that it is the only one of the nation's 10 most common causes of death in which there is no effective treatment. And secondly, not only is it fatal, but it actually robs its victims and their families of their lives long before they're actually gone. So if you think about it, it's the only disease process in which the patient dies not just once, but twice. The first time when they lose their memory and all mental faculties, and then again when the rest of them finally dies. It's an excruciating experience for everyone involved.
You know, one thing we need to make sure everyone understands is there's a free cognitive decline and Alzheimer's dinner event. That's Tuesday, March 12th at 6 o'clock p.m. All you have to do is call 303-974-1087 to reserve your seat for this free informational dinner because seating is very limited. Now, from what you've learned working with doctors who really focus on this area, what is a typical experience for a person dealing with cognitive decline and dementia because of Alzheimer's?
Well, it usually starts innocently enough. Maybe they're forgetting things here and there, they're misplacing items, or they just notice they're not quite as sharp as they once used to be. And what we find is that these patients will actually blow these symptoms off, and sometimes they'll even joke about them and call them quote-unquote senior moments. But a little time goes on and these symptoms expand and they become more apparent, which allows other people to notice that something's going wrong. So maybe these patients are having trouble putting names to faces, they are having difficulty staying organized, they're relying very heavily on note-taking and calendars just to keep things straight, or they're repeating stories. There's a myriad of things that are indicative of something going very wrong.
So explain to our viewers right now what these patients are really experiencing when they actually go to their doctors or their healthcare providers.
Well, it really depends on what they're experiencing when they go in and how diligent their provider is. Up until recently, there really wasn't any concrete or definitive testing that would allow a practitioner to make a concrete diagnosis. So it's not uncommon for these patients to get the runaround. And unfortunately, if and when they're formally diagnosed, it's often too late. They're told to get their affairs in order, they have to have a power of attorney, and remember, that's because there is no effective treatment, or at least so we thought.
So we thought, right? Now the tide, I understand, is changing, and there might actually be a possible solution for this type of thing. What are your doctors seeing there at Integrative Health Center of the Rockies?
Well, quite simply put, we now know through science and clinical experience that the symptoms of dementia, cognitive decline, and early stages of Alzheimer's are not only preventable, but they're actually reversible as well. And we have a much clearer understanding of what's actually causing these conditions. And it's not the amyloid plaquing like we thought it was all along. And in addition to that, there's new technology and a new treatment approach that is allowing, listen to this, patients with cognitive decline, dementia, and early stages of Alzheimer's to reverse those symptoms with a success rate of over 90%.
No, oh my goodness, that's a statistic to remember. And you know what else you need to remember? Right now, this free cognitive decline and Alzheimer's event that we need to tell you about. It's a dinner event, Tuesday, March 12th at 6 p.m. You need to call this number, 303-974-1087, to reserve your seat. Free informational dinner event. All you have to do is call that number to see, because seating is very limited. I've got to guess specifics on this. What are your doctors seeing?
Well, we're seeing our patients going back to work. They're able to drive again. They're achieving a better quality of life. And some of them are even leaving assisted living facilities.
See, when you say that, that has got to be bringing hope to so many different people. And if anything, what we're talking about right now is piquing your interest about you or a loved one, you need to remember this. Who should be going to this event, thinking about this event, and really be getting checked out?
Well, if you are experiencing any of the symptoms associated with early stages of Alzheimer's, like memory loss, brain fog, difficulty reading, writing, speaking, repeating stories, maybe you're getting lost while driving on routes that used to be very familiar to you, any of those things, that I highly encourage you to give our office a call to see if you qualify to attend this free event. It's really not anything that you'll want to miss.
Well, the information you've given us this morning is astounding. It's always so good to have you here.
Yes,
and listen to what you're telling us, because again, if anything that Amanda has talked about this morning, anything we've referenced, is something that piques your interest, someone, a loved one, even yourself, and you have questions, you need to call the number you see on your screen, 303-974-1087, to reserve your seat, because again, these seatings are limited, correct?
They are.
All right, so you don't want to miss out on this. Thank you so much, Amanda, for being here.
Gina.
All right, I'm going to say it again. Call 303-974-1087 to reserve your seat for the free informational dinner event and seminar called The End of Alzheimer's. Now, this is Tuesday, March 12th at 6 p.m. The number again, folks, 303-974-1087. Call to see if you qualify to attend this free informational event on reversing cognitive decline and the symptoms of early stage Alzheimer's disease. All right, here we go. 303-974-1087, the Integrated Health Center of the Rockies, paid for this segment. Keep it here.